What would be more important than caring about the people around you, the citizens of Alabama?
And there's not too many organizations invest in people.
The purpose of this foundation is to create opportunities to fund unmet needs across this state.
People always have the need to be needed.
I think for me, civil justice, and particularly in the work that we do, means that justice is for everybody.
And I think of it being a just society, you know, that we have the same services provided for all people.
No matter where you stay, you still should have the opportunity to have everyone else. I think that's just a civil thing to do.
Attorneys work tirelessly as dedicated, compassionate professionals to ensure justice is delivered to all citizens, especially those who are less fortunate or typically underserved. The Alabama Civil Justice Foundation represents the heart and soul of the legal profession in Alabama by giving attorneys the opportunity to invest in the needs of its people. The Alabama Civil Justice Foundation partnered with the City of Anniston to create the College Gateway Program. This program provides local students with tutoring for the high school exit exam, as well as assisting them in applying for college scholarships and financial aid.
Most of these kids are low-income, single-family homes. Kids can actually come in, and we have someone that will help them to fill out applications, to fill out their FAFSA forms.
As a result of 2003's Talbert case and the charitable donations of the 4 plaintiff law firms, the Anniston Civil Justice Fund was established to improve educational opportunities for the young people of West Anniston.
I think the empowerment that you're doing, that this kid can come back to this community and say, I made it and you can too. And I think that's what this program has done.
The YWCA of Central Alabama was founded in 1903 by Mabel Sloss to help women of small salary and adverse circumstances. Victims of domestic violence often are intimidated by the court process, they're intimidated by the lack of resources, and of course they're afraid to go to court. The wonderful grant that we get allows us to represent victims of domestic violence in the City of Birmingham court. It's the largest municipal court in the state, and it has an overwhelming caseload. The funding that we have allows us to be there in the court with that woman that's often intimidated and has no resources of her own. We served over 3,000 victims of domestic violence last year in the Birmingham City Court alone that we would not have been able to touch in any kind of way with the service did we not have this grant. The human capital that came with the grant, and of course the financial capital that came with the grant.
There are many needs around this state that go unmet, and I, as an individual, contributing alone, will not be able to meet those needs. But collectively, with other members of this association coming together, then we are able to have a formidable force in addressing and funding things that need to be funded in this state.
It's good for the rest of the world to see, you know what, we care so much about making this money so we can give it away and do something else with it. Do something to help you, whether you like us or not, whether you think we're a bunch of scumbags or not, we're going to help the world.
I'm the Executive Director of Legal Services Alabama. We are a statewide law firm providing free civil legal services for low-income Alabamians. We help those Alabama citizens who are marginalized because of their economic plight. Recently, we were provided funding which made it possible for us to hire a full-time lawyer to help people in mortgage foreclosure litigation. And without the funding of Alabama Civil Justice Foundation, we would not have been able to hire that person and to provide that kind of care to countless numbers of Alabama citizens.
The Department of Senior Services serves our seniors across the state, primarily age 60 and over. We have been very, very fortunate to have established a relationship between our agency and the Alabama Civil Justice Foundation. It has been a wonderful experience for us because we're very limited in our resources, and they've been a great sponsor for some of the things that we've advocated for seniors in protecting them against various things, such as the Medicare fraud. It's been a wonderful opportunity to have a resource that's available to our seniors to help them, to protect them against fraud and abuse. And thus we developed the Medicare Fraud Toolkit. They work through that are members of the foundation, and were able to distribute that statewide, which played a great role in our accomplishing what we set out to do.
Alabama Giving is a state network of foundations and corporate grant makers, and the mission is to increase philanthropy in the state of Alabama. And over the years, we've found that networking and collaborating, working jointly on issues has far more impact for the state of Alabama than us each going separately or individually trying to fund things. So in 2005, we started looking for a project that we really could work collaboratively on, an issue that made a big difference in the state. And that's what began the formation of our pre-K initiative. The Alabama Foundations realized that school readiness was a tremendous issue and impact for children in our state, to keep them in school, to help them do well in school. We partnered with Pew. Pew gave us an initial grant of over $100,000, but they said there's a matching portion to it. And the Alabama Civil Justice Foundation was one of the early leaders in that. They made the lead gift of $25,000 for that match with the Pew money. And then they also took a leadership role in asking other foundations to join them. You know, would you be part of this partnership? Would you help us raise the awareness for the need and understand the benefits and value of pre-K for children and how they go to school ready to learn and then do well in school and stay in school.
The Alabama Civil Justice Foundation is critically important because they take the time and the effort to find those people who are otherwise underserved or not served at all. They ferret those groups out and provide funding to people who otherwise perhaps would be unassisted.
And there's not too many organizations invest in people, projects, but not people. And I think the Civil Justice Foundation does invest in people.
I think there'd be a lot of parts of the community that might not be heard.
The Civil Justice Foundation fills in the gap along with many other foundations across the state of Alabama to meet those unmet needs.
Since 1993, the Alabama Civil Justice Foundation has awarded millions to organizations throughout the state that serve Alabama's children, families, and seniors. With these and other efforts, the ACJF and the lawyers it represents has become a recognized leader in its support for those in need. The Alabama Civil Justice Foundation. Attorneys give. ACJF invests. Alabama is strengthened.